Morning and welcome to our today's lesson. I'm Kodiko, teacher of biology. So I want to welcome you to our today's lesson where we can talk about reproduction in plants and animals as a topic. But we're going to look at reproduction at the beginning of reproduction. That is, we are going to look at the majorly in plants before maybe later on we look at how it takes place in animals. First of all, you have to ask yourself, what is reproduction? In Form 1, we talked about characteristics of living things, and we realized that reproduction was one of them. How did we define reproduction in Form 1? Reproduction is defined as the process whereby mature organisms, mark the word mature, organisms give rise to individuals of their own kind. That means that human beings can only give birth to human beings. Goats can only give birth to goats. So this process by which mature, that therefore means that reproduction cannot take place in organisms that are not mature. So we are talking about process by which mature organisms give rise to individuals of their own kind. We cannot think about reproduction without looking at what we call a chromosome. So in most cases, if you look at a chromosome in Form 3, a chromosome is defined as a thread-like structure that is found in the nucleus of a cell, and it only becomes visible. It means that it is there always, but the structure of the chromosome can only become visible during cell division. So that's what we're saying, that a chromosome is a thread-like structure that is found in the nucleus of a cell all the time, but only becomes visible during cell division. So if you look at the structure of the chromosome, there is what I've drawn here. You look at it that the chromosome is made up of two parallel strands. These two parallel strands here, when it is one, we call it a chromatid, and when there are two, we can call them chromatids. The other part is also having the two chromatids here. The two strands are connected at a point in the center that we are calling a centromere. A centromere is just the point of connection between the chromatids. So if you look at it, maybe when I'm talking about a chromosome, this is a chromatid of a chromosome. So along the length of the chromosome, there are locations. These locations here, when there are many, we call them gene loci. But if it is one, we can give it the name gene locus. What is the importance of the gene loci, or rather gene locus? The gene loci contain structures within them. These structures have got the name that we are calling genes. The genes. Many a times we've heard people talk about DNA, and the major component of a DNA is the genes. And DNA is composed of protein molecules. These protein molecules that we know, we have the DNA having what we call the phosphate molecules. It has got ribose sugars. It also has got what we are calling nitrogenous bases. That is when we come to genetics. But the three of them form what we call a nucleotide. So this is what determines the characteristic of the cell and its progeny. So progeny here means the offspring that are going to come after the original cell. So along the length of a chromosome are small structures called genes that determine the characteristic of the cell and its progeny. So these genes occupy specific locations called gene loci or gene locus if it is singular. So you can see the structure of that. Sometimes you may find that the chromosomes may occur in pairs. So when they occur in pair, like that and this, they look alike. Being that they look alike, we give them the name homo. So homo means the same. So these genes that chromosomes that occur in pairs, we can give them the name homologous chromosomes. Homologous chromosomes here, they may look alike in appearance, but that does not mean that they contain the same genetic information. That means that, like we look at during crossing over of the first meiotic cell division during prophase, we have the chromosome like that, but then you may find that one chromatid may break off from one homologous pair and rejoins now. By the time it is rejoining, it is now not rejoining at a point we are calling centromere, but this point is called the chiasma. Chiasma, the major significance of the chiasma is for the exchange of genetic materials that later on lead to what we call variation. Variations are what we are calling observable differences among living organisms. So the observable differences among living organisms that are there. So the process of reproduction begins by what we call cell division, so that the adequate amount of chromosomes that are going to be made available for the daughter cells that are going to be formed. Because you find, for example, if we have a cell like that, and then this cell undergoes mitosis, or maybe divides into two, there are two daughter cells that are going to be formed. So cell division is important because it is going to avail adequate amount of materials that is going to be used for the daughter cells that have been formed. For that reason, we have two types of cell division. The types of cell division that we're going to talk about is mitosis and meiosis. So first of all, we have to understand what we mean by the term mitosis. Mitosis is a type of cell division in which two daughter cells are produced. The homologous chromosomes do not associate with each other. There is no crossing over during this process. And the daughter cells that are formed during mitosis are said to be diploid, meaning they restore the total number of chromosomes in the parental cell. When we now come to meiosis as another type of cell division, it is a type of cell division in which four daughter cells are formed. The four daughter cells that are formed are now not diploid, but they are haploid. That means that they are half the original. So the number of chromosomes are not restored. So in most cases, meiosis is a process that results in the formation of gametes. Now, if you look at each of these types of cell division, each type of cell division is described in phases of one. We have sometimes have a simple way of mastering. You can talk about mat. If mat is the order, that means I for interphase, we have the prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. So these phases here, we talk about four stages because the interphase is not described as a stage. Why are we saying that it's not described as a stage? It is because it is just a preparatory stage where the cell actually prepares for the actual cell division. So in this case, in the interphase, there are three major events that take place. Number one, multiplication of genetic material so that the daughter cells are going to have sufficient number of chromosomes. Number two, there is going to be buildup of energy which is going to be used for the actual cell division. And then number three, we have what we call vital cell organelles that are going to be manufactured so that these daughter cells are not going to lack anything. They are going to have all those materials that are required for the actual cell division. So in this case, we have now seen what happens there. When we come to prophase, what is going to happen? And when we come to metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. So that one we shall look at now what takes place in each and every stage later on. So we have now seen the chromosome. We now understand the structure of the chromosome. We know it's a thread-like structure that is found in the nucleus of a cell and always only become visible during cell division. We have seen the component made up of two parallel strands that are called the chromatids, connected at a point in the center called the centromere, and in most of the cases we find that they occur in pairs, and when they occur in pairs we call them homologous chromosomes that look alike but does not necessarily mean that they contain same genetic information. As in the Then again, we look at the process of reproduction that must begin by cell division, and we have looked at the types of cell division, mitosis and meiosis, where we said mitosis is a process where 2 daughter cells are produced, and in meiosis, 4 daughter cells are produced, which are what? Haploid. So the phases, we shall look at them later on and see what takes place in each and every stage. I want to thank you for listening to our lesson of today on reproduction. Thank you.